Hello again. Quick tour of the front garden, starting at the step. We have a hanging basket with thornless blackberries, so you can run your hands through these and not get spiked. And in late summer coming into autumn, you can see a few flowers there. They become blackberries, just pretty much the same as you'd see when you're walking through parks where the wild brambles grow, and you get lots of blackberries in autumn. Moving down, the garden was open, which you can see from next door. It's just lawn and there was no fence, so my dad put the fence in for me, and that enabled me to dig up the lawn, because there was no point doing it while it was open, because it looked quite stupid having half of a lawn dug up with an open plan front. So we dug the lawn up, or I dug the lawn up, and then didn't plan it, but this is what happened basically. I just put some of the logs from a tree against the side here to make a border, and then planted a few hit and miss flowers, because it was quite poor soil when I first dug up the lawn. Not much was growing very well here, but over time I've had good success. As you can see, we've got rock roses flowering there, an actual proper rose, which was very unhealthy last year, and I cut it off at the bottom and just left the roots in. See if you can see, but I just cut it off at the base there, and I thought that would be it dead, but it sent another stalk up, or whatever they're called, a stem, and here we have an absolutely gorgeous, healthy looking purple rose. So it wants to live, it can stay exactly where it is. And we've got some verbena there, verbena bonariensis or something I think they're called, these purple flowers, and I don't know what this is called, but it sends some flowers up and they stay quite a long time basically. So that flowers I think in July and stays till maybe September, October. And we've got some unhealthy looking lilies there, but I just put them in because I didn't want to throw them away when I was moving them out of a pot, and they seem to have taken in this spot, same as these ones here. But because it's shaded under the monster cherry tree, they do go looking for the sun quite a bit, so that's why they look a bit drunk, leaning over. More rock roses in the corner here with some evergreen ferns. I particularly like these orangey ones. I wish I'd have got a few more of them and planted them in other spots, because they're quite lovely them. A white rose there in the corner. Moving in, we've got hostas, which apparently the slugs really like, but mine don't seem to be affected by slugs. I don't know why. Maybe it's because they keep eating me cabbages. So that's that. We've got a hebe here, I think it's called Midnight Sky, and you've missed the flowering, but this is an absolute gorgeous rhododendron. So next year, if I'm still making videos, you'll get to see that. It's lovely. More ferns as we move along the wood chip, and a few gladioli that I didn't actually plant, but I threw some soil down from my dad's, and he said it was soil he dug up where gladioli were, so obviously there was a few of them stuck in the soil, and happily it's another free resource. And here's the pond I built. I say built, but I dug a hole in the floor, put some pond liner in, and then most of these rocks were already here. I think that was the only one I had brought in. Someone was giving some away for free, and it nearly broke me back getting it into the car, but I managed it. Little diving board there for the birds, and they often sit on there or land on there and then dip in to get a drink. So I wanted to keep that as close to the water as possible, so that if they do fall in, they'll be able to just jump back out. And there's a little shelf there with a few stones in. And happily, the water lilies I put in last year, you can see there, we've got a flower and there's another one there. So I'm looking forward to seeing these open. I've never seen what they look like before in a real pond. And I think they're white ones. I can't remember if they were white or yellow when I bought them, but we'll see soon enough. And then into the front there, we've got some more lilies. And in front of that, we've got red hot poker, which I dug in there last year, which were in a pot. And all of this wood chip, which is another tip for getting freebies into your garden. If you see someone cutting a tree down nearby, ask the tree surgeon if they can dump the wood chip at your property. And some people quite like it because it stops them having to take it to the tip or pay to dispose of it, and I just use it to line the paths. I also get wood chip out of the local park. When I go to the park to do some training, running and whatnot, I'll take a bag with me, a garden bag, and then go through the woods, and if they've been chopping trees down, I'll just fill the bag with wood chip. I'll do another video on compost. I did a video yesterday, but for some reason it looked like the video was upside down, so it made me dizzy watching it, and I didn't want to post it up because it would probably make you lot dizzy as well. So that's the front. Other than labour, everything was pretty cheap. The only thing I've bought in is bags of slate to make these paths. They were there already, so I just dug them in. Only a few inches down, not a difficult job really, just time consuming. Then level them out, make sure they don't rock, and then fill in the gaps with the slate. And other than that, slate, the only thing I've bought was the block paving which my dad laid. And to get the levels, we put this little drop in there so that it's easy to see when the postman comes and he doesn't trip over. Oh, I didn't put this in the last video, but I'm just leaving these to go to seed. This is beetroot, believe it or not, and that's how it flowers if you let it grow. And we've got celery that was just left over from a supermarket celery. I just cut it off right down to the base and planted it to see what would happen, and it actually started to grow again. So that's been in all over winter. It's been frosted and it still survived. There's a couple of carrots there, you can see. I planted them way too early in this pot, and I've planted some more here, so we'll see if they germinate. And the bed at the front, I think that's either a cauliflower or a cabbage. And this is garlic that was planted in October, November last year. And I think if it does make it to form a bulb, I'll harvest them in July. And another massive leek there, which I've left to go to flower. It's going to open up soon. That's where the seeds will grow, and then I'll keep them and use them later on in the year. Again, that was being in all through winter. Speaking of beetroot, there's some new ones there. 1, 2, 3. Or sorry, 1, 2. I don't think that's a beetroot. I don't know what that is. And in between the garlic, we've got some spring onions, and they'll come up and get a lot thicker at some point soon. So there you go. That's the front garden. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you again soon.